Italy's floating city is one of the most memorable vacation destinations on Earth. Visit Venice for an unforgettable adventure. Best time to go. If you're wanting to escape the crowds, there's no better time than winter, when visitor numbers are at their lowest. But while there's a romance to it, Venice in winter with its biting cold, swirling fog, and frequent wind and rain certainly isn't the Venice of people's dreams. In summer, the city is crowded and hot, but it's also the perfect time to head to the beach on the Lido, or into the lagoon. Spring and fall tend to have the best of both worlds. Go late March to mid-April, Easter aside, and you should enjoy decent weather but not too many crowds. Christmas tends to be quiet but New Year is busy, and Carnival, which is roughly mid-January to mid-February, is packed. The currency used is the euro. How to get around. Trains. Venice has two main train stations, Venezia Santa Lucia and Venezia Mestre. Buses. The Vaporetto is the public transit system in the city and operates on 20 different lines all through town. The water buses run the length of the Grand Canal. Buses from the mainland and local airports terminate at Piazzale Roma and Santa Croce. Taxis. Water taxis can be found at the airport, train and bus station, and Piazza San Marco. Otherwise, they must be booked in advance. Gondola. While more of a scenic mode of transportation rather than a pragmatic one, gondola rides are synonymous with Venice and shouldn't be missed. Things to do in Venice. Grand Canal. The Vaporetto or water bus lines plying the zigzagging Grand Canal double as spectacular cruises. Hop on the number 1 at Piazzale Roma or the station. Wiggle your way down past marble-clad palaces, each more ornate than the other. Enjoy sailing under the Rialto Bridge, past St. Mark's Square and the Doge's Palace, and alighting at San Zaccaria. Piazza San Marco. Most visitors to Venice come for one thing only, the breathtaking, waterside St. Mark's Square. Have coffee in one of the Chichi cafes outside. Visit the Basilica di San Marco, the church covered head to toe in glittering gold mosaics, and stroll along the Riva degli Schiavoni waterfront, for those classic lagoon views. Palazzo Ducale. Overlooking the waterfront, this stunning palace, which was the seat of power for the ancient Venetian Republic, showcases an astonishing mix of artistic masterpieces and grand architecture, including the famous Bridge of Sighs. Take the secret itineraries tour to get guided around the prisons and other rooms not otherwise open to the public. You're then free to continue the rest of your visit alone. San Giorgio Maggiore. Located at Isola di San Giorgio Maggiore. Admire the Tintorettos in the vast church below, then take the elevator to the top of the bell tower on this island monastery. From here, you'll have spectacular views of Venice. Go at sunset to see the lagoon flush pink beneath you. Querini Stampalia Museum. If you only have time for one museum in Venice, make it this one. It is a former noble's house, stuffed with works by the likes of Bellini, Tiepolo, and Pietro Longhi upstairs, and a ground floor wing and garden designed by 20th century architect Carlo Scarpa where the canal is encouraged in to lap against specially constructed channels. Burano and Torcello. Get a Vaporetto to these two islands 40 minutes outside Venice. Fishing town Burano's multicolored houses make it an Instagram paradise. While semi-deserted Torcello, where Venice began, is known for the Byzantine mosaics and the Basilica of Santa Maria Assunta. Northern Lagoon of Venice. Spend the afternoon with Andrea Rossi, one of Burano's best fishermen. He'll show you the hidden corners of the lagoon in his boat. You choose the itinerary, from fishing to floating through inches-deep channels, or bird-watching on Torcello. Teatro La Fenice. Most visitors tour Venice's famous opera house, which burned to the ground in 1996 before being rebuilt. But for a more intimate experience, book a ticket for a show to hear the legendary acoustics and see the gold-drizzled stucco up close from your own box, instead. Scuola Grande San Rocco. Tintoretto is one of Venice's 16th-century celebrity artists, and this is where you'll find his best works. The top floor of this building is covered entirely in his paintings, making it an artwork in itself. Buy a chorus pass. Venice's churches are living museums, with masterpieces usually in situ. 15 of the best make up the chorus group. Buy an open access ticket. The tickets are valid for 12 months. In this way, you can pop in to see Tintoretto in San Polo, and Canova's tomb in the Frari Church as you walk around. Arts and Crafts Tour. Venice's artisans have a proud history, with many crafts dating back to medieval times and earlier. These days, they're endangered. Take a tour to meet glassblowers, mask makers and gold beaters. Walk the Giudecca. The 20-minute walk along the waterfront of Giudecca, the island squaring off against the city center, nets you some of the city's most iconic views, with St. Mark's and the Round Salute Church always in the background. This is also one of the least touristy areas, so follow the locals into bars for a spritz along the way. Lido. If it's sunny, blow off steam from all that culture with a trip to the Lido, the long sandbar off Venice city center. The deep sanded beach is incredible. Here, head west for the free section, away from the sunbeds. Gondola ride. Yes, it's expensive. Yes, it's worth it. Venice was built to be seen from the water. But don't rent one on the Grand Canal. Instead, you want to be going along the small waterways where you can't get by public transport and the only sound is the slosh of water on the boat. Start from the train station for an off-the-beaten-track itinerary. T. Fondaco dei Tedeschi rooftop. Work your way through this department store in a 16th-century building by the Rialto Bridge, up to the rooftop. From up here you'll get astonishing views of the Rialto and the Grand Canal, snaking from top to bottom. Reserve ahead online. Neighborhoods to know. San Marco. Once the political heart of Venice, San Marco is now the most visited of Venice's 6 sestieri, or districts. Piazza San Marco, where St. Mark's Square is the center. Radiating out around it is a rabbit warren of narrow streets, taking you to the Rialto Bridge. There are gems here. This is definitely the tourist trail. San Polo. On the other side of the Rialto from San Marco, this is Venice at its most medieval, with squeezabelly alleyways, sottoporteggi which are cut-out passageways underneath first-floor houses and timber-framed palazzos. Although heavily trodden, there are still artisans around, and it has a young feel, thanks to its proximity to University Ca' Foscari. Dorsoduro. Traditionally the artists' area, Dorsoduro, forms the lower border of the city center. Here you'll find high-end galleries and bijou shops around the Guggenheim Museum. It's a popular area with students around the vast, bar-lined square. Campo Santa Margherita, and the always sunny Zottore waterfront is where locals love to stroll. Castello. The biggest sestiere is also the hardest to pin down. Alleyways behind San Marco stuffed with restaurants and bars unfold into big, cafe-lined squares where local kids play football. Some of the loveliest churches are in Castello, like the marble-clad Santa Maria dei Miracoli. This is a place for walking along the Riva degli Schiavoni waterfront and around the Arsenale. Santa Croce. For the vast majority of visitors, Santa Croce is their first sight. But step away from the Piazzale Roma bus stops or the cruise terminal and one of the city's most laid-back areas is on the doorstep. This is one of the most residential areas. The quiet canals are worth a wander. This top end of the Grand Canal is less prestigious, but because of that, more real. Cannaregio. What was once an industrial area is now perhaps the loveliest sestiere, with wider canals, bigger pavements to lay seating on, and magnificent palazzos. Cannaregio has long been known for its artisans. Today, the Fondamenta della Misericordia is the locals' favorite bar strip. The Fondamente Nove waterfront, on the north of the lagoon, offers spectacular views of the Dolomites, as well as ferry boats to the islands. Giudecca and the islands. Life goes on as it always has on the islands, which give a different glimpse of lagoon life. Giudecca, the croissant-shaped island opposite Dorsoduro, has some of the best views in the city. The Lido is one great, miles-long beach. In the north past the cemetery island of San Michele, is Murano, known worldwide for its master glassblowers. Half an hour beyond it, into the North Lagoon is the fishing island Burano, known for its multicolored houses, and Torcello, where 2 ancient basilicas mark where Venice began. Weather. Spring is the classic time to visit Venice, before the summer crowds and heat hit. Temperatures can hit 55 degrees Fahrenheit in March and 70 degrees Fahrenheit in May, but when the sun is out, it feels much hotter. Summer can be sweltering. The average temperatures are in the low to mid 80s. The humidity, which pushes 80%, makes everything much stickier. Fall tends to remain warm. Average temperatures are 74 degrees Fahrenheit for September and 64 degrees Fahrenheit in October. Again, feeling warmer when the sun is out. Winter temperatures rarely hit freezing, though the high humidity, fog, and strong winds can make the city feel colder than other snowier cities. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, sharing and subscribing to my channel. Let's catch up in the next video. Shall we?